My name is Ethan Ortiz. I'm with Hiyuko LLC, and this is part 2 of the TOR Hidden Services with Client Authorization Keys, where I demonstrate different client tools hands-on. I'm going to show installing TOR on a Raspberry Pi, editing the torrc file on the Raspberry Pi, editing the torrc file on the TOR Browser on a Windows 10 system, and then demonstrate these tools: TOR Browser, command line SSH over TOR, Putty over TOR, SCP over TOR, and FileZilla over TOR. I'm going to install and configure TOR Hidden Services on the Raspberry Pi. So let's open up a command line, SSH over to the Pi. Right now I am in my home network, so I can access it directly. I'm going to do a sudo apt install TOR. This will be in real time, so you can see how long this should take. This is a Raspberry Pi 3. Okay, so now that TOR is installed, it should be running already. There it is, so we're going to stop it. Cool, so it stopped. So now we're going to change the torrc file. So we can add the hidden service ports that we want, which is right there. And what we're going to do is we're going to copy paste on this one. So I copied the contents from the first presentation for the torrc file. That's what it looks like. I'm going to copy that, and then we're going to put it in the torrc file on the Raspberry Pi. So I'm going to delete these entries, and I'm going to paste in the new ones. Okay, so we have the hidden service directory that we have to make a note of. This is where the hostname file will be contained, where we grab our onion address and key. And this here tells add 3 keys. So this TOR hidden service will come up, and there'll be 3 keys created inside of a file named hostname. So we're going to save, and then now we're going to start TOR back up. So now it's generating new keys, new onion addresses, and we're going to go take a look at them. Now, if I do cd to TOR, it's going to give me an access denied. So I'll need to sudo -s. Now I can go into TOR, and I can see that there's a directory called hidden service in there, as I expected. And then we'll do a more on hostname. I'm going to go ahead and just copy the first one. Okay, I'm going to use Notepad just to paste in this information because I'm going to use it in the next step. The TOR Hidden Service is up and running and on the TOR Onion, but only accessible with these keys. Alright, so let's go to the next step. Before we run TOR Browser, let's configure it. Look for the TOR Browser directory. I'm going to type TOR, open file location, TOR Browser, open file location. And then go to TOR Browser, Browser, TOR Browser, Data, TOR, and then you're looking for this file. So we're going to go ahead and copy that guy. Well, not copy it, just open it up here in Notepad++. I'm going to take this, the key and onion address, and I need to put the word hid serve auth, paste the address, make sure you don't have any new lines, and hit save. So that's done. Now we can open up our TOR browser. Let's start it up. Now we want to be able to go to that address that we created when we started up TOR. So let's go to our server, and let's just pick the address we copied. We're going to paste it up here, and we want to go to the 192.168.110.99, but on port 80. And we want to go to the web camera, and this is the string that I need to specify in order to reach over TOR, ask for port 9980, which forwards me to that local area network IP and on that port. So there's the surface on my 3D printer. Now if I just remove this specific string for the printer, sorry for the camera, then I should get the Octoprint admin login portal. So this is very useful. My biggest use for watching a camera over TOR was when I traveled overseas. I was able to check my mail from environments I didn't trust. Okay. Let's go ahead and close that because we don't need that anymore. And let's actually drop down to a command line to do SSH over TOR. And to do an SSH over TOR, we need to use this command. So we copy this command. Then let me open up Notepad++ again. I'm gonna create a new tab, and I need to change the onion address, obviously, because we now have a new one. I'm just gonna copy that new address, paste that in there. So now this string is ready. So let's go ahead and hit copy, and let's go to command line. And I'm actually running Windows 10 with the Windows subsystem, so I'm just gonna go bash. This will work. This will totally work on a Linux system as well, of course. I'm just pasting that in, and I'll very quickly go over what's going on here. So I'm running SSH, verbose. I want to see all the commands and everything that's going on to connect to that SSH server on port 9922. I want to connect as a user named Pi, and because SSH doesn't have a support for onion addresses directly, I'm going to proxy using Netcat SOCKS5 and on this SOCKS proxy. This SOCKS proxy, localhost 9150, is actually the TOR browser, which I shut down. So let me just start that back up. There we go. Okay, so TOR browser is running on 9150, and there's the address. Let's just give it a moment to establish a connection, and I think it should be good to go. So let's hit enter, and let's see if we can get to that 3D printer on SSH, and it looks like we have. So now we're connecting. Now we need to authenticate. And we are connected to my Octoprint 3D printer controller over TOR. Alright, I'm going to exit out of there. Next step in the demo is using Putty. Let's go over to Putty. And we have to change our address again because I reinstalled TOR. So let's go fetch that address again. We'll change that. That's what it used to be. Okay. Now, Putty does not support going there directly on port 9922. We need to proxy again. But we're going to use the SOCKS5, and we're going to do localhost on the hostname dialog, and then port 9150 because it's the local SOCKS port. And you can leave this blank. Make sure you have DNS name lookups at the proxy end. Make sure you have connect, host, and port, and a /n. And that should be it. Should be able to just hit open. Wait for it to establish connection. I accept, and let's log in. And that's it. So that's the way to do it with Putty. Okay, next. Transferring files with FileZilla. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Launch FileZilla. Now with FileZilla, if you go into your site manager, there's no proxy set up in here. So you have to go under Edit, settings, and then go to generic proxy, SOCKS 5, specify localhost 9150, leave everything else the way it is. Now go back to Site Manager, select the site or create one if you don't have one, and then we're going to paste that onion address in there. Don't forget 9922, and we're going to hit connect. Give it a moment. There you go. FileZilla, we're connected to the Raspberry Pi running Octoprint. And simple as that. Okay, next one. Secure copy over TOR. Now this one was a little bit more of a hassle for me, but I finally figured it out. You need these two commands. So we'll copy these two commands. I'm going to paste it into Notepad++. And then I'm going to just clean it up. We need that onion address right there. So we're going to copy this one command out. We'll paste it in here. Hit enter. Oh, sorry, little typo right there at the end. Give it a moment. Log in. And that's it. So this has now established a connection over TOR to the 192.168.110.99 machine, and it's bound there. So there's basically an open a tunnel connected there. So we're going to leave that alone. Then we're going to copy this command. Actually, let me have these two screens up at the same time. So you see this 31337. There's a listening port locally, and what we're basically doing is doing a secure copy to that local port. That local port is gonna basically exit on the other side of TOR and hit that 99 IP address. And what am I gonna do? I'm gonna copy the file called important e or .doc to this directory. That's it. So it's a little convoluted, but obviously it works. So SSH, bind the local port that's going to be bound to this exit on the other side of TOR through a proxy, and then just cat so that it keeps that connection kind of just waiting there. And then you open a second window and SCP over that. So that's one way to do it. And that concludes this demo. If you liked it, let me know you liked it. If you really liked this video and the others, please subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments. It really helps me understand which direction to take with these videos. See you at the next video.